I think I'll probably go back to your discussion around the multi geos. And I think it remains a challenge to overcome the inherent uh, block that people at times have in terms of accepting other cultures or accepting um, a different style of work. And I'll give you an example. The North American market, very procedural, very process oriented. Uh, what's written is what's provided, no more, no less. It is contractually binding. Whereas in Israel, you'll find someone agreeing on concepts or the work to be done over a handshake or over an email. And I had to, quite frankly, work very hard over time to actually eradicate the behavior of how things could and would be done in Israel because I didn't come from that culture. In my world, I am very Americanized, even though born and raised in Israel, as it relates to business operations. And so it's taking me a long time to overcome these through education, through processes, through continuous monitoring of people and how they operate. And quite frankly, it does create a little bit of overhead. It does require m- somewhat more management, more abilities around in country that are aligned with other cultures. And it's, as I said, it's not just the how we speak, the language, the tonation, the approach. It's also about how you do business. A German customer, for example, is a customer that takes a very long time to bring along um, to ultimately pull the trigger on doing something, especially when it comes to transforming their existing business, which we essentially do through technology. And so it's very hard in this case for a US resident or a US seller and a Israeli seller to understand the concepts of why can't they move faster? Why can't we make decisions faster? Why do we have to go through these endless processes plus endless, um, sort of authorities inside an organization to actually move it along, move the project along, move the opportunity along. It took a long time to understand that, and I'll leave you with one last example. The Germans aren't forthcoming unless you pursue it. They're not going to come and say, um, "Oh, I have a problem with David," even though he's CEO. And here are my problems. And if that doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I don't want to be here, or that's not the person I want to work for, and so on and so forth. They'll just simply one day up and leave, and they will have never talked to you about it. They will have never suggested that there's a problem. They would have acted as business as usual for eternity until they decided to up and leave. They will not voice concerns. But if you seek it and you push them a little bit, you may find one or two that will share more and divulge more information about things that you care to know. And because ultimately you want to keep them in the company, you want to conserve the sort of the team that you've built. You don't want overly, you don't want to churn a lot of folks or treat a lot of folks, and so you care about what people think and you are willing to change if that's what's required. Um, and that's not going to happen in every culture. And so we've had to really fine tune and balance that